Listen, hold on to your wigs, hold on to your edges, hold on to your man, definitely hold on to your wallet, honey, because Riri did not come to play with us. Hello dolls, it is she and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Please do not forget to subscribe. We are doing a very special video today. It was a Fenty Beauty release, and I'm usually not big into big product releases, but when I saw this, I absolutely had to do it for the culture. Go out and support and grab a good amount of items. I got 5 items here that I am reviewing. All of my full face is pretty much Fenty Beauty except for the brow. Mama dropped not just a product, 2 products, but a whole entire line with 40 foundation shades. In her initial launch, 40 shades. Usually with foundations, my shade, maybe 2 shades lighter, is the darkest that it would go. With this launch, there were literally 7 foundation shades that is darker than my foundation shades. Yes, 7. So I am very, very excited to see some of my very, very dark beauties here on YouTube review this collection. I want to see how the foundation looks on their skin, especially Nima Tang. I know she does her the darkest shade series, and I know she was at the launch, so I cannot wait for her review. But for my review, I have 5 products that I went and got. I got one of the Kilowatt Dual Highlighters. I also got the Matchstick Trio for the concealer, contour, and the highlight stick. I also got the Precision Makeup Sponge. This sponge is super, super cute, super, super soft. I also got the one lip product that she launched, which is the Gloss Bomb Fenty Glow Lip Gloss. I saw Alyssa Ashley swatch this at the release launch party, and it was absolutely gorgeous. I had to get that, and of course I got the Pro Filter Soft Matte Long Wearing Foundation. So without making this intro really long, let's get right into it. I'm going to talk about each of the products as I get to them. Okay, so let's get started. I am super excited. Starting out with foundation. Listen, I had to fight, literally damn near fight in Sephora over this foundation. I was in between the shade 430 and 420. I kept going back between the 430 and the 420, and I ended up landing on, thinking I was going to be more so the 430. I'm not sure what this coverage is going to look like. It's supposed to be a full coverage foundation, so we shall see. And typically I like to do about 3 pumps, but this is actually, you actually get a lot out, so I'm gonna go with those 2 pumps and then see where we get. And I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out with a foundation brush. I actually did get the sponge, but I like to apply my foundation with the brush. This coverage is insane. Did you see that? I have hyperpigmented spots on my cheeks, and that just covered all of that, like no problem. So the consistency is not thick at all. It actually feels really, really good on the skin. I'm not sure exactly how it's supposed to dry down, if it's more of a matte finish. I'm going to read the box in a second here. I mean, this color match is like pretty much spot on. Definitely was not a 430. I was thinking I was going to be a 430. I was in between 420 and 430, and I mean, it was a Madhouse in the local Sephora over here by Madhouse, and so I'm like trying to fight to get to the foundations. It's literally like people everywhere trying to get to the Fenty section, and I decided I was like a 430. Went, all the 430s was gone, so I'm like, all right, well, I guess I have to settle on the 420, and all the 420s were gone. So I'm like, look, I don't have time to order this and wait for it to ship. So I just happened to look down in the bottom. You know, they always have extras in the drawers below, and they literally had 1 more 420 shade, and I got the very last one and got the hell up out of there. And what I love is when you go into Sephora, and I'm going to probably insert a little video clip here somewhere on the page, they have a little shade wheel and like paper swatches, and it shows you all the shades, all 40 shades that come in the collection. And on the back of that wheel, it'll tell you what contour, what concealer, what highlight matches your complexion based on your foundation shade, which I thought was extremely cool. And luckily for me, they have these 3 packs foundation. They have these 3 packs, what is it? The Matchstick Trio, and it comes with concealer, a contour, and a highlight, and it only comes in 3 different variations. This is the middle one. They have one that's lighter than this and one that's darker than this, and luckily these were the exact matches for the 420 foundation, so it worked out perfectly for me. and this is a much better value. They run $25 each, and this little trio is only $54. So what you would pay $75 for each, you actually can get all three for $54. That's if one of the three actually matches your shade. If they don't, like I said, they only have three of the trios. One that's my shade, one that's lighter, and one that's darker. So it seems to have kind of dried down pretty matte. Like it feels like I've powdered my face already, and I haven't powdered my face already. I'm really liking the finish. Now it is going into the fall, into the winter, and my skin is usually extremely dry during the fall and the winter time, so I'm a little bit worried about how this is going to wear on the skin when my skin is drier during the winter time. This is definitely a great, I think, summer foundation, because again, it dries down pretty matte and it really does set itself. But this is beautiful. I mean, it's like a perfect match for me. And with 40 shades, everybody should be able to find their exact match. Like I'm still shook. It's 40 shades. Like mama did not come to play. She here for everybody, all inclusive. When she say all inclusive, that's exactly what she meant. Again, this is the Pro Filter Soft Matte Long Wearing Foundation, and I am in the shade 420. It is said to be medium to full coverage for all, long wearing, and lightest air. I definitely think it's more on the full side, because you can see it cover all my hyperpigmented spots without me having to color correct or anything, and it definitely feels light on the skin, and it definitely set itself. Like if I can go out of the house right now without any powder and I'll be fine. Like I don't see any shine or anything like I usually get in my T-zone. So far so good, Riri. Next, we're gonna go in with the Matchstick Trio, the concealer, contour, and highlight, and I am in the shade, it says Tan 300. Concealer shade in this trio is Caramel, the contour shade is Truffle, and the highlight shade, the highlight stick, is in Rum. So let's open this bad boy up. I'm super excited. I mean, look at the packaging. It's all magnetic. Looks like a little honeycomb. I'm just absolutely obsessed with that, and I love the little FBs on the top of the stick. So this is what all three shades looks like, and just for purposes of knowing exactly how much product you get in each stick, this is the stick completely rolled up, and it's really thick, so you get a good amount of product in each stick. And this is the same for the highlight and the contour. Each stick is 0.25 ounces, which I think is great. Now, as far as the shade range in the concealers, also a great shade range. For me, in the concealers, for my shade, I'm in the shade, again, this is Caramel. I found, I'm gonna roll that all the way up. I found it to be 4 shades darker than my initial review. This feels a little dry. It's a little drying. I have really dry under eyes, so that concerns me a little bit. I thought it was going to be a lot creamier than what it is. And I think it's going to dry down really fast, so I am definitely going to conceal first, and then I'm going to blend that out, and then I'm going to go in and contour, because I'm afraid this is really going to dry down, and it's going to be harder to blend out, but we'll see. Now for the little sponge, super soft, super cute. It comes in this little sealed package, and it is a 3-sided precision sponge. You have the rounded side, the rounded bottom, you have this flat edge here, and then you have a flat tip. So I'm going to go ahead and dampen this. It says you can dampen it. His precise, versatile, expert blending for all formulas. Use damp for buildable coverage or dry for full coverage. I'm definitely going to dampen it, just because that's typically how I blend out my under eye with a dampened sponge. Anyways, I'm not going to do anything different here. Okay, so I've dampened my sponge. I'm going to go in with the I'm gonna try the flat side and see how that works out. Now as far as the color, I think I could definitely have gone a shade more golden or more warm. This is very kind of peachy. It has peachy undertones to it, and I don't really like a peachy. I more like a very yellow based under eye concealer. So yeah, it's definitely drying down, so you definitely want to move fast with these concealers for sure. I'm going to go in with a little more right underneath my eye. Get a little more coverage here. They're definitely a little dry for me. If you have very dry under eyes, this might not be the best concealer for you. It's very matte. And you definitely, I would suggest going in with a dampened sponge to try to blend this out. I prefer a more creamy under eye concealer, again, just because I have drier under eyes, and that usually works the best for me. Honey, you definitely want to move fast with this concealer, because baby, when it dries and it sets, it's kind of there and locked in place. So I'm not blown away by the concealer. Again, I just find it to be really dry for me. If you have oilier skin, you might love it, but for me, again, someone with drier under eye, I'm not the biggest fan of the concealer. So for the contour, it looks like it's going to be a great shade. So let's go in and see. Definitely a cooler toned contour, and again, this is in the shade Truffle. I'm a more of a warmer contour myself, and this has the same kind of drier feeling like the concealer. It feels just a little dry to me. But we're gonna roll with it. Let's go along the jawline, chill out the nose a bit. I'm just using the round end of the sponge. It's blending out nicely though. I really do like this contour shade. It's not too intense, because I typically don't cream contour. I'm usually like just a bronzer type of a girl, so I like that it's not crazy intense. Just blending that out. I really like the contour shade. It's really nice. It's blending out really well. Now I'm just taking the flat end and I'm going ahead and blending out my nose contour. And that again is blending out really nicely on the nose. Okay, so Rihanna did not come out with any setting powders. I assume that will be with the next launch. So let's get into highlight. Now the highlight shimmer stick that came with the trio, again, is in the shade Rum. And I'll go ahead and do a little swatch here. It is a gorgeous bronzy shade. Let's go in right on the high points of the cheeks with this. That's really pretty. And then let's blend that out. Again, this one is not as creamy as I thought it would be. The sticks, I don't know, they just seem to be a bit on the drier side. And I would definitely prefer something a little more creamy. And that's easier to blend, but they are gorgeous nonetheless. Or is it nonetheless? Either way, get what I'm saying. Go ahead and take that down the bridge of the nose and blend that out as well. Now highlighters, let's talk about it. Look, I originally went to Sephora just to pick up the Trophy Wife highlighter. I mean, it was just golden goodness from all of the swatches that I saw from the launch. But once I got into Sephora and actually swatched Trophy Wife for myself, I found that it was very glittery and chunky, and it's described as a 3D highlighter, so I think that was what they were going for. But for me, I have textured skin, so I prefer a more smooth highlight, and so the chunky glittery highlight doesn't really work for me. So once I actually swatched it, I was just like, this isn't my type of highlight. I think it's beyond gorgeous. I actually might just go back to get it just to say that I have it and probably post it up somewhere, but I think it'd be beautiful on the lid or beautiful on the inner corner. But as far as highlight for me, it just wasn't what I like in a highlight as far as the texture and the formula of it. So I decided to go with the Kilowatt highlight duos, and I got the one that's in Mean Money and Hustler Baby. And in this highlight, they have It's pretty much a two-sided highlight where you get a more soft satin, more natural inner glow type highlight, and then you get a more beaming, more brighter highlight. So I'm first going to go in with the shade Mean Money, which is again the softer inner glow highlight, and I'm going to plop that right on top of that shimmer stick that we put down. And as you can see, it highlights, but in a very soft, subtle, natural way. It's very, very beautiful. Not overpowering, but still very golden and very beautiful. Now to beam that up, I'm gonna go right over top of that with Hustler Baby, which is so gorgeous. I'm going to insert probably a video here so you can see it. When the light hits it, it just, I mean, just beams. I mean, look at that. That is golden, just goodness. That is so gorgeous. I'm actually gonna just take this up a little bit. Why not? Just go ahead and bathe and highlight. I mean, girl, Rihanna did not come to play. A little bit over the forehead. Why not? Let's just bathe. Literally bathe in this highlight. It's so pretty. And then on the other side, I'm gonna do the same. Go in with Mean Money first. Very natural, very pretty glow. This will probably be like my everyday type of highlight. And then when I want to step out, step it up a bit, I'm definitely going to go in with Hustler Baby when I really want to blind. That is, I mean, like, so good. It's gorgeous. Girl. Okay, so obviously I went a little overboard, but this is exactly, just trying to see the effect of the highlight. So I'm gonna go pop on some lashes and some liner really quick, and then I'll be right back to finish up the lips. Okay, so hair up, and I definitely do have on a top. I wanted to see how this would actually, how the highlight would actually look on the body. Before I do that, I want to go ahead and pop a little bit in my inner corner. That's so pretty. Now that we are glowing to the gods and beyond. Be extra. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit on my collarbones. Oh, that's so pretty. Just a little bit on our shoulder. Just see how that glows. Okay, this highlight is everything. I mean, look at that. And again, this is still Hustler Baby, the more Super Shock highlighter side. Clavicle. Alright, so now that we're dipped in that, for lips, she only came out with one lip product, and that is the Gloss Bomb Universal Lip Luminizer in the shade Fenty Glow, and it is a gorgeous, just rose gold, pink blush-ish lip gloss. Like, I absolutely love it. I'm going to first go in and line my lips with my favorite brown liner, and right now that is NYX Urban Cafe, just the perfect brown. Just lining them slightly, and I'm going to go right in with the gloss. That's so pretty. And it's not sticky at all. I hate sticky glosses. It smells really, really good. It smells like candy. Like a sweetheart. That's really pretty. So this is the finished look. All in all, this foundation is absolutely gorgeous. Once it sets and sort of oxidizes into the skin, I mean, the match is perfect. I did not set the actual foundation with any powder. Like, it looks like I've completely powdered my face, and I have not. It truly does set itself. I did set the concealer and the contour with setting powder, but that is pretty much it. I mean, this highlight is absolutely redonkulous. It's very, very beautiful. The only miss for me, honestly, were the stick trios. That concealer is just so dry, and I have really dry skin, and I found it a little hard to blend. And even though I love the shade of the contour, it too was a little bit dry, and I did find it a little bit harder to blend. I do prefer a more creamy stick foundation or concealer or contour. So that's literally my only gripe with this collection. And one other thing just that is kind of bothering me, and to not be picky, but I do not like the inconsistency in packaging. I wish she was a little more consistent with the packaging. Like, you have clear here with the white top, and then you have the very pretty nude with the silver writing, and then you have this rose gold clear component, and then you have this pearlized with black lettering. So I wish I was just a little more consistent with the package, you know, not to be picky. I'm kind of OCD like that. So, like, just sitting out on my counter, if I wanted to group all of these together, I just feel like they don't go together. I just don't like how the packaging is different colors. But again, I'm just being extremely picky. I mean, I just cannot wait to see where she goes with Bella. Stop. I just cannot wait to see where she goes with this line. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a ton of more lip products, eyeshadows, face products, blushes. I just hope that she just kind of really take this and ride it till the wheels fall off, because she did a really amazing job with this first launch, and I know a lot of it is already completely sold out. So that is pretty much it, dolls. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe on your way out, and I will see you in my next video.